Anyways, let's talk about my buddy Louis, obviously Louis C.K. And I was sad to fucking hear it, but this notion that us comedians who knew him knew everything that was going on. You fucking people on Twitter can be so ignorant. It's fucking frightening. Why would I worked at Chris Rock too. Never heard any of that shit. Heard rumors recently and stuff, but and you know what? Wildly inappropriate. If he did it to anybody, a sister, or my mother, or my aunt, I'd fucking break his fucking nose. Wildly inappropriate. But that being said, let's not lump him in with Harvey Weinstein and fucking, and Kevin Spacey and fucking whoever else, Roman Polanski. He whipped his dick out, and from the stories I read, first of all, they asked permission. I know that doesn't make it right, but a couple chicks actually stayed and watched it. So, I don't want to hear that you're my equal, ladies. If you're going to fucking say this traumatizes you the rest of your life and you're going to have post-traumatic stress disorder. Okay? You want to serve in the military next to guys at a foxhole, but you see a dick, you're going to be ruined the rest of your life? Let's stop with that. Unless the guy locks the door, and it's an assault, that type of thing, I can see that fucking you up the rest of your life. But for Christ's sake, 25 years ago, this was but a prank at a fraternity. So, the Daily News and the papers in New York literally listing him, it lists fucking Woody Allen, Weinstein, Louis C., You're not being charged with friggin' rape. Okay? Wildly inappropriate, fucking ignorant to do, absolutely, all that shit. But he knows that. Let me make a little prediction, too. Not just saying that because he's my friend. I know Louis in a fucking year or two. Here's the thing when you're a stand-up comedian, especially at his level, and how fucking good he is, you don't need Hollywood. You can go outside of Hollywood. You put on your own live shows. You don't think his fans are going to want to hear what he has to say about all this shit? Whether it's a week from now or fucking 2 years from now? And he'll be brilliantly funny about it, even though it's not funny, and I understand. I'm not defending his fucking horrendous behavior, but I'm just saying, let's not make him out to be, Harvey Weinstein, who's actually being, charged with rape. But that's what happens, isn't it? That's what we do here, especially the left. And let me tell you something else. You know who runs Hollywood and has for the last 25 years? Fucking feminists, okay? You hear all this whining and war against women and all this horse shit. Let me tell you, that's hardly true the last few years in Hollywood. And eventually, I'd say in another 5 years, you're not going to see a straight male in Hollywood doing anything, directing, producing, writing. We all know this shit has been going on forever. Some people say it's the reason Hollywood was created. But, it was really bugging me when I see his picture next to, all these other scumbags. So, it's, he'll, like I said, because he's a live comic who can perform live. I always think of like Kinnison, how, originally Hollywood, he wasn't part of that. He just became so big, like a cult figure on his own. Then Hollywood came to him. I just think it'll blow over. But the two girls that's like, yeah, we were paralyzed. My dick can do a lot of things. I don't know what's going on down there. Is that what happened to Stephen Hawking? Was it ALS or was he cornered by? I don't know. But here's the thing, ladies. A guy does that. You know what you do? You kick him in the cock and you run out. Or you go, what are you, fucking sick? And you leave. You don't go, career decision. If I leave, he'll be pissed and I won't get that part. If I stay, maybe I don't know. And then all these accusations, these other accusations coming out 10, 15 years later, those are the ones that make me kind of laugh. Not the ones with somebody who's actually assaulted or cornered or raped. I understand that. But I'm saying now everybody is under suspicion now. Oh, this fucking, there's waitresses coming out of the fucking, I spent a week in Hollywood 21 years ago and Tom Jones looked at me wrong. And I was serving him a muffin and he rubbed against my tit. So let's go after him, and then fucking. I told you it would get bigger than Weinstein, and it's a perfect. Who was it? What's the guy? The mayor, Rahm Emanuel, about taking advantage of a crisis. Always take advantage. You know what I mean? It's a perfect thing here. It's a good reason to douche the system of men that are controlling Hollywood. You know what I mean? Nobody's going to trust anybody to work with anybody. But if a guy does that, I suggest you fucking... First of all, if a guy asks you to go to his hotel room for anything, I forgot my totes umbrella. Come on up. What? What? Yeah, I forgot my totes umbrella.
That boy is a P.I.G. pig.
I don't know. Line 3 says it's Matarese. I don't know if Joe?
Hey, Nick, it's me, Joe Matarese. I'm on my way, but I'm coming in on a rickshaw. I got some Vietnamese guy sprinting down 49th and 8th like it's being fucking napalmed. Anyway, I'd just like to request you not take calls when I'm in. I got debt collectors up to my fucking eyeballs, harassing me for $12 I owe on my Amex. But I basically
might be the worst fucking impression I have ever heard. It's like a combination of Dice, the guy from fucking Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Oh my god.
Anyway, I wanted to chime in on the Louis just real quick, and then I'll get going.
Yeah, go ahead, Joey.
Well, it's just that I offered my wife for Louis to jack off to. Thought it will help me get a cameo in Horace and Pete. But she just kept crying like a fucking jack off. I mean, so much for marital support, right? Right, I'm coming in soon. This goop's going fucking crazy. I'll be back in a minute.
I'll see you in a few minutes, Joe. Take care. God, I hope he goes off the fucking Hutchinson. Hits a bridge in Buttman. Oh, my God. That was the most horrendous. I don't know what that was. Combination of Skipper from Gilligan's Island, Dice, little kid in the wheelchair with Jay Leno face. It was a real fucking mess. People like you can send me $150 for this adorable blanket.
That kid's all over now.
The kid is huge. I called my agent today. I go, hey, Jesus Christ. Look at this kid.
He's on game day.
Yeah, they had him on game day, breaking down a Y2 banana. That's spider. That stands for split coverage. And then the little black Ed Sullivan kid stepped in. What are you talking about? Ah, my ass. Let's go to Greg in Texas. Greg, what's happening?
Nothing much, man. Just taking a nice long drive. I was going to bring it up. With Louis C.K.'s thing, it's more or less kind of like a guy who got caught with the dominatrix thing. This whole jacking off thing for him is like a power thing, getting caught and shit. But these Harvey Weinstein fuckers, they're just getting off on fucking with these women. And I remembered this. This is kind of important. Remember when Lena Durham put out in her fucking book how she molested her sister?
Yeah.
Where was Hollywood when that shit happened? The hypocrisy is left. Like, fucking one of their own literally molested her sister with incest, and they don't throw her out to the wolves.
No, I know. But as far as what you said about Harvey Weinstein, you're kind of minimizing that. You said he was just doing it to fuck with these broads. No, he was fucking... That's pure. That's the definition of, to me, sexual harassment.
What I mean... I'm sorry, Nick. I didn't mean to put it that way. What I'm saying is, for Louis C.K., it's more or less a mental thing to these women. Whereas these fuckers, like Harvey Weinstein, they're giving into lust and shit. And they're just being dirty, dirty little fuckers. I mean, all Louis C.K. can do is make a few jokes about how he likes women watching him and shit like that. Go down dark comedy. He's got a career again in a few years, like you were saying.
Well...
Like, at least on his side.
Yeah, but the Harvey Weinstein stuff, to me, is... First of all, like, he's actually being charged with rape in one of the cases. But to me, that is a textbook definition of sexual harassment. Exactly. I'm going to fire you if you don't suck my dick. And Louis' thing is kind of a voyeur fucking thing, and it's like actually there's like a psychological condition that guys get off. What's that, Greg?
Do you think that Louis' thing seems more like a fetish thing, where you kind of want to get caught?
Yeah. But, well, I don't know if you want. I don't know if you want to get caught. I don't know if you want to get caught, but either way, even if it's a fetish thing, it's definitely, it's like I said, if he did that to my fucking sister, I'd break his face. It's
Oh, as you should. As you should.
So I'm not trying to defend this, but they're lumping him in with like you said, with the Weinsteins and who knows what else. But now, thanks for the call, Greg.
Kevin Spacey and George Takei tried to hide under like the. Well, I was going to say Kevin Spacey tried to defend himself, saying, I'm gay, trying to throw face and act like he wasn't one of these Harvey Weinstein fuckers. Give that George Takei guy. Anyways, well, thank you, Nick.
You got it. Thanks for the call, Greg. Well, George Takei was he saying about the Russians? What, Russian bots? What was he saying? Did you read that?
No, I don't.
No? I love the minute I ever asked for did you read that? Fucking eyes get bigger than saucers.
I didn't read it.
But I have this adorable blanket. $12.95.
I gotta buy that thing, or else I'm going to hell.
Buy what?
I
thing?
gotta donate. Just the amount of.
We'll do
jokes.
it together. We'll all get blankets like that.
All right.
We'll take our clothes off and just put the blankets around us and go to the SNL rap party. And go, hey, pull this off. And then we'll all be in the paper. We'll be famous too. Again, I read all these stories and I'm a little disappointed in myself. I really wasn't very aggressive when I was single. Again, you got to remember back when I was in my 20s, I'm talking a while ago. You could take a dump on a shrimp tower at a seafood restaurant. Nobody would say boo. It's a joke. A seafood tower, yeah. Frank in New Hampshire has an opinion on Louis C.K. What is it, Frank?
Hello?
Yeah, Frank, you're on. Wake up.
Hello? Hey, finally you're back. You and your ass.
Me and my dirty ass.
I'll tell you. It's unfortunate. Louis, great comedian, great actor. And what's happening today is, that situation. Yeah, okay. He probably, obviously, shouldn't have done it because you can't. You can't. You don't know what anybody's going to do, and people are just waiting to pounce. And like you're saying, they're going to crucify him, and he just has to push forward. And hey, I made a mistake. I'm moving on.
Right.
So it's just too bad because that's the way it is today.
Especially
somebody suing their neighbor or whatever it is. And he's probably very sorry. Hey, look, we make bad decisions every day, whether it's road rage or whatever. But he'll get out of it because he's successful and, he's a decent guy.
He'll get out of it because he's smart. I don't even say get out of it. I mean...
I don't mean get out of it. He'll
survive.
Through it.
He'll survive. But the reason it's such a big deal now and people coming out of the woodworks, and I'll say it again, Hollywood is run, if you guys, I don't know how to explain it to you, but every commercial, every sitcom, every movie, there's a message of female empowerment, whether it's a commercial for State Farm or for fucking dog food. It's an underlying theme in everything. It's the ultra feminists have a big say in Hollywood, and their pussy husbands. I remember reading Bernie Goldberg's book. I think it was Bias. He talked about working in the CBS newsroom or one of the either ABC, CBS newsroom, and he said some of the most powerful anchor men that are on air, guys, people that we watch every night for the news. Their wives were the most ultra feminine, and they would literally fucking threaten their husbands if they didn't talk about certain shit. I used to get so annoyed watching the news, and the last 8 minutes of it was always women's health, and out of 22 minutes of news, every night 8 minutes would be like women's health or issues that didn't mean shit to me. But but
they didn't want to drive home and have to face the wrath of a cold dinner.
No, you're absolutely right. And Hollywood,
sleeping on the couch.
And Hollywood is just come on. There's no. I mean, that's where feminism lives and breathes, and
that's what they live for. Is just to go after somebody. But to wrap it up, I'll get off the air. But as far as the ass goes, whatever. Everybody's different in healing, and I was 50 and had to go through a circumcision. Okay.
Why?
it
You
medically I had
convert to Judaism?
Well, I thought about it, but it was too long of a process. They couldn't just give me a hat and a beanie thing. But I had to. 2 or 3 weeks, you'll be fine. It was at least 6 months, and but everybody's different. So you may heal up fine in another couple of weeks, but I don't listen to anybody after going through that. You know.
Yeah, well, that's true, but I want to get to why you were circumcised at 50.
Well, it wasn't something I wanted to do. I had to do it because. Yeah, exactly.
Why?
And I wasn't in a 1975 Lincoln Continental.
Why'd you have to do it?
Because after a while, you can't use it. You can't because of the effects on the actual skin itself. So, doesn't happen to everybody, but. So.
I'm laughing at my producer Fiore. He just tried to do a scissors sound effect. It sounded like he was typing. It was even fucking close. It's like he was a stenographer.
You tell that fuckstick Fiore I know where he lives.
All right, Frank.
Family.
Well, Frank, thank you for the call. Good luck with your circumcised cock. Enjoy.
It's done. Thank you.
All righty. Take care.
Bye.
At 50, circumcised because why? Eventually, you can't. Just the lint alone, and it's just. If I had a son, that would be the first thing they'd do to him.
Absolutely.
Okay? Jesus Christ. You want a pastry bag for a dick? Girl goes down on you, she's like, fucking, it's like decorating fucking Fudgy the Whale. What? What the hell kind of talk is that, Nick? I don't know.
That boy is a P.I.G. pig.
Look at. Let's go to Jay, the Canadian truck driver, wants to talk about Louis and Louis' situation. Jay, your thoughts behind the wheel.
Well, here's the thing. I'm wondering what this all is distracting us from, particularly that Vegas shooter. Did we ever find out anything about that? Or how about Hillary? When is she going to jail?
So what are you saying? Louis is being used as a pawn? Is that what you're saying, really?
Yeah, like the Harvey Weinstein and all that shit. Who gives a fuck?
Who gives a fuck? How about the girl that was almost raped in the fucking hotel by Harvey Weinstein? She might give a fuck.
That shit goes on every day. I've worked in places where
So that doesn't make it right, you dumb Canuck. You fucking silly bastard. That doesn't make it right.
Well, it doesn't make it right, but I mean, there's bigger things to worry about than worrying about who put their dick where. I'd like to know who the Vegas shooter was and how he was tied to all.
His name was Christopher Paddock. That's who he was. He was mentally fucking ill, and he snapped. Your thoughts?
I don't buy it.
You don't buy it. All right, you're a conspiracy theorist.
That many guns for that many days and all that? Like, come on.
We're still getting to the bottom of it.
Story.
I agree. I agree, Jay, but that doesn't mean, some chick who sees Louis' cock can't be scared.
Well, I'd be scared too, but that's another story.
All right, Jay.
But I got to tell you, I'm going to call Sirius XM tomorrow and tell them to change this to the hemorrhoid network. Between you, Cavino, and Rich, and Jim Norton, you've all got hemorrhoid issues the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, but who had them pulled out by the roots? Me.
Yeah, and you're still crying in a fetal position on the bathroom floor.
That's right, Jay. Now go fuck yourself. Take care. See you later.
A-S-S-H-O-L-E. Everybody, A-S-S-H-O-L-E.
I didn't know. I don't listen to the other shows, so I don't mean to be piling on the pile. But, yeah. Like I said, I look down at my underwear right now. I think I still should be talking about it. Bleeding like fucking Hillary at Yale in 1968. And what am I saying? She doesn't have a vagina. Let's be honest. Dominic wants to make a good point about all the sexual harassment cases, and they delegitimize the real ones. Is that what you're saying, Dominic?
Exactly, Nick. You got these. I just heard a radio show. The guy's talking to the caller saying it's inappropriate to even comment on a woman's dress. To say she has a nice dress is sexual harassment. And that shit takes away from, these real fucking creeps that are doing these horrendous acts. You know, they're not going to listen to this shit anymore when you got all this bullshit fucking accusations.
Well, yeah, it's like everybody crying rape, and what comes to mind is that girl at Columbia that dragged around the mattress for fucking a year, who put that guy through all that shit and ruined his fucking life, but she was full of shit. And yeah, you're right. It waters down the real when girls really are victims of this stuff. There's no doubt about it. But really, if you tell a girl she has a nice dress, it's sexual harassment.
I swear, I'm not going to say which show it was. The guy, he tells the caller, no, that's completely inappropriate. You can't tell a girl that. What culture are we living in now? You can't even ask a girl out on a date? That's sexual harassment?
Well, the culture we're living in is the far left culture. That's what they want. They want a cold, sterile world. They have this fantasy that women are going to run the fucking planet, and it's never going to fucking happen. And you can't legislate the DNA out of fucking men, you just can't. You can make as many rules, but that's exactly right. It's unbelievable now. We keep widening the definitions, whether it's racism, the scope of the definition of racism or misogyny. They keep getting wider, the definition. It used to be, use the N-word, you'd be considered racist. Now, if you disagreed with Obama's policies, you were racist. It keeps expanding, and we're running away from each other in opposite directions. And, and if guys stop paying attention to girls tomorrow, they'd fucking dry up and die. Anyways, thanks for thanks for the call. I appreciate it. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I want to say you got a really, really great show, and I think it's a very important, relevant show, and you seem to be the only guy doing it, and I hope you keep it up.
Thank you, Dominic. I appreciate the support, guys like you, and spread the word. And again, I give serious credit, and I always bring up Jack Vaughn, but he took notice. And look, fucking Trump won. That does mean something, even though the people on the left don't want to agree with that. Take care, Dom. Let's go to break, shall we? I don't even know if you gave me a signal yet. I wasn't really paying attention. I was getting wrapped up in my own. Was that 2 thumbs up or 2 minutes?
2 thumbs up. Yeah, we've perfect time. Perfect timing.
Let's break, and I was going to just ask you. I was just going to ask you if Matarese is in the house, but that'll be my den up here in the woods. So I'll check on that, and we come back. Hopefully, the very funny. He's a fucking likable, great family guy, and he's a goddamn good comic. Joey Matarese.